video, I'm just going to put my phone on silent. That's very unprofessional of me. This video is about Dylan. Dylan, my little man. Dylan just turned 2 on the 25th of May. So he's like 2 and 3 weeks. And he's grown up so much. The past month he's just shot up. He's thinned out a little bit. I haven't got him weighed. Actually, no, that's a lie. I did get him weighed. He was 2 stone 10 pounds. He's a big chunk of a boy. He is a bruiser of a boy. He's not so much fat. He's just stocky and he's heavy. But he's doing really well. Where to start with his development? Physically, he's climbing, running around. I still need to get him out of the buggy. He has only just turned 2, and Willow kind of went out of the buggy at like 18 months old and was walking nicely for like 6 months, and then she went back into the buggy for a bit, and I had to go back and buy a double, sorry. And then she kind of flitted between. But since we've had another baby, she is completely evicted from the pushchair. So it's actually taken her until she was well over 3 to get completely out of the pushchair all of the time. Dylan, I think we're working on him walking a bit more, or maybe using one of the buggy boards. So that's something we're working on. Potty training, we haven't started with Dylan. He is nowhere near ready, and the main reason behind that is that his speech seems to be quite delayed at the moment. We know that we've definitely had it confirmed that he has an upper lip tie, and he also, I suspect, has a tongue tie as well, although our doctor doesn't think so, but he sent us for a referral anyway to the hospital to go and get that looked at. Basically, we took him for a small drop-in speech and language evaluation, literally just 10 minutes to do a few simple tests with Dylan, just to see, because me and Rob had some concerns about his speech, and just to see kind of what they thought and what their opinion was. So they said, yeah, there's definitely something there. They were kind of like saying, well, he is still only just turned 2, because he did it a couple of days before his 2nd birthday. They were like, he's just turned 2, you know, he could be just a bit lazy, or there could be an issue there. I explained about the lip tie that he's already been confirmed to having, but because it wasn't causing any issues, we left it alone. If it was causing any issues eating, then they would obviously operate on it, but because it wasn't causing any issues, they left it alone. And then I mentioned that I thought that he might have a tongue tie, because he can only poke his, try to talk and show you at the same time, he can only poke his tongue out as far as kind of like there. He can't really lick his lips, and he can't like lick an ice cream very well. So those kind of issues that I mentioned, physical issues. Another issue that they wanted to rule out was his hearing, so they've sent him for a hearing test, and he's got that in a couple of weeks as well, just to make sure that there's physically nothing wrong before we go down the speech and language kind of path. I went on a training course, speech and language training course, just for parents for a couple of hours a couple of weeks ago, and they've given us kind of like 100 words that we need to kind of try and get him to say, or at least to prove that he can understand them. So that's kind of what we're working on with him at the moment. It's weird because sometimes, like with songs, he can sing a song back to you, and if you didn't know the tune to that song, you wouldn't have a clue what it was on about, or if you didn't recognise the actions, you wouldn't have a clue what it was on about. But he does attempt to sing like Twinkle Twinkle, Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes in full, but we still haven't got little words, like he's still not said anything. He says daddy, he says haddy instead of daddy, and he says mama, but only when he's crying and he's hurt or something. He doesn't say it day to day. and then he won't say anything like cup or drink or food or that he wants to eat. He'll just whinge. And I think, I don't know if it's a second child thing, I don't know if it's a boy thing. The physiology is different between girls and boys, so sometimes kind of that is the case, that boys are just a little bit more behind. Girls seem to have a lot more easier with language and picking up language and things like that. Even the speech and language therapist at the parents workshop said that they have 4 times as many boys in speech and language therapy than what they do girls, which I thought was very interesting. And hopefully it's just something he grows out of. Another thing what we've decided to do was actually to put him into preschool as well. The preschool that Willow is at only takes from 2.5, so he will be going a couple of months later than what Willow did, but I think he needs that couple of months, to be honest. And so he will be starting in November, which is nice because it gives Willow a couple of months just to settle back into preschool, and then Dylan's gonna go. I don't know how that's gonna be. I don't know how they're gonna be. I don't know if they're just gonna fight the whole time or if they're gonna be okay. We're aiming to send them both on 2 days a week together, and then Willow's going to have an additional 1 day on her own where she'll just be with the older kids. Basically their preschool will do just like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday as any 2.5 to 5-year-old can go in. But on the Thursday they just have the school leavers, the children that are getting ready to go to school the next September, so that they can focus with them on more school readiness and getting ready for school and activities to get them ready for school and practicing things for school and things. So fingers crossed we can I just heard a thud. You alright?
Yeah, what was that noise?
I don't know. You okay? Rob's downstairs with the kids. So we're hoping to send him into preschool, and once we've got this, I feel that we can't really potty train him until we've got the speech there that says that, so he can vocalise to me that he's doing a wee, doing a poo, and that he needs to go to the toilet. And until we've got that, I'm kind of hesitant to potty train him, really. Although I think he's going to be quite a bit easier than Willow to potty train, if I'm honest, because he's not as heavy of a wetter, although that could make it harder because you've got less opportunities to kind of catch a wee and to tell him that this is what he's going to do. So basically going back to the speech and language thing is that he's going to start preschool. Basically over the next 9 months from the date of where I did the parent workshop, I can refer him. Once I've tried these techniques for a further 3 months, I can then refer him myself to get a more detailed assessment. But they like to try the speech and language workshop first, and just make sure that the parents are doing everything they can be. I don't quite know what the issue is, if I'm honest, because I definitely speak to Willow and Dylan the same. Although, we probably did do a lot more with Willow. I don't know. Willow had lots of people, lots of adults, and lots of one-to-one with adults, because Rob would be off a couple of days a week to have Willow. I would be at work Monday to Friday, but I'd have her at the weekends. My mum and dad would have her as well, and because she was the only child in a bunch of adults, she did seem to thrive off having that one-to-one a bit more. Whereas when Dylan was born, I gave up work, so I automatically then had to split my time between both Willow and Dylan. And then my mum and dad didn't really have them as much, but we still saw them obviously, but they didn't have them as much at all. Kind of once in a blue moon I'd have them overnight on a weekend if me and Rob had something on, but So he didn't really have that much more input from anybody else. But like I said, it might be a physical thing, so we're just ruling out the hearing test, the hearing issues. I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually something like glue, to be honest, because his nose is forever snotty, he's forever bunged up, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually something to do with his ear canal and that he needs grommets or something to help him hear better, in which case then he can speak better. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the issue at all. But that's why we're going for the hearing test, to try and rule that out, and then if not, we'd be going down the speech and language route further, like I explained. So other than that, he is happy, healthy. He's still very sociable, even though he's not really talking as much as his friends his age. He still plays with everybody nicely. He doesn't really, although he can't speak very well, he doesn't really lash out too much. I mean, occasionally he'll hit me and Rob, but when he's really frustrated that he can't tell us what he wants. But actually 9 times out of 10 he's pretty chill. He doesn't have too many paddies or meltdowns or anything like that, so he is pretty just relaxed and kind of gets on with it. Bless him, my little man. But yeah, other than that, he is doing great. I can't believe he's 2 though. He's no longer a baby. He's, you know, big boy. He's transitioned into a big boy bed. He's because we needed his cot for another baby. He's in his own room. He's just, other than that, he's just doing fantastically. So yeah, so that's our update on Dylan. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.